Welcome to the Bourbon Van. I'm Phil.
I'm Julie. Thanks for joining us on this beautiful Monday evening. Mondays.
How about a Monday? How about that?
How about it? I like it.
It was just sitting there, so we decided to do it. We are in Monterey Bay, in the vicinity of Monterey Bay. You may hear
harbor seals.
Harbor seals.
I keep calling them sea lions. Not the same thing.
Not the same thing. You may hear some seagulls, some wildlife, that sort of thing, because it's noisy. It's right outside the window here. Quite
Love
noisy.
It. First time. I would say first time here.
Never been to Monterey Bay before. It's beautiful here, and it's been great. We've been walking the beach every day. It's just what we needed, because everybody needs a little beach time here and there.
Yeah, I love the beach.
Yeah, we've done nothing to deserve it, and
we're not going to apologize for it.
Thrilled tonight to try something new. I believe we've tried one thing from this brand in the past. It was kind of a one-off, but tonight we've got a real treat for us. It is a flight of MB Roland whiskeys, and I'm going to show you the photo here. Yep. I probably should have made a digital version of this. What would a professional do? Here's the flight. That is MB Roland of Kentucky. And all I know is I looked up some of this stuff online, so just to learn a little bit about the brand before we got started. Learned that it is in very far southern Kentucky, almost in Tennessee. Learned that
but it's beautiful down there.
It's supposed to
be very hilly and green.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And also that if you're going to go there, that should be your destination. There's really nothing else around. Also learned that if you go there, expect to be waved at by many Amish people.
I love it.
That's those are all things that I
like
learned
friendly people
in the last hour and a half. That's what 90 minutes solid studying. That's all I came up with.
Wikipedia. Go to the distillery.
Yeah.
Wave at nice Amish people.
Yeah, I would say a big thank you to the good folks at Reddit for the information that I was able to glean there. Also, Breaking Bourbon. So,
and a big thank you to
Kathy Huey for these samples. You know, when we got home from our 100-day trip last year, some samples arrived.
Yes,
and we were so hyped. It was a whole thing. Kathy sent us a ton of stuff. And
I remember.
So I boxed these samples up, and I thought, we're going to be on the road for a good long time. This will be a great flight for us. Months and months and months ago. It's been such a long time.
Because we're the worst.
Yeah, we're the worst. We're finally getting into this. We are having our third live stream of the last 214 days. So we keep doing them.
We're on a roll. Two months in a row.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing, right? That we're keeping you busy out there. I hope that you were probably just sitting there bored.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And here we are. So we're going to get into these samples very quickly.
Do you know what I'm excited about?
Tell me all about it.
Is that normally we do a live stream and we just kind of like riff. You and I riff. And then we riff with whoever's watching.
Normally once every 100 days when we do
every 100 days. So we did the St. Patrick's one, and we had one whiskey, and then we riffed like the other 2 hours, basically.
Right. And we also forgot that we had another Irish on board.
And I'm not great. I mean, I'm not good at riffing. Like I don't know if you noticed about me, but
a bit of a talker.
A bit of a talker.
Sure.
But we have like 4 whiskeys that we get to taste today, so we actually have whiskey-related stuff to talk about. Instead of just hearing me just randomly
talk. Channel talking about whiskey. That's crazy. Us for the first time. Okay, let me say some hellos here, because Kathy Huey, of course, is here. Sugar Kitty, great to see you. James, trying to decide between some rare breed and some Redbreast 12.
Oh,
that is a dilemma.
That's a dilemma.
Conundrum. Good luck
I would go Redbreast 12. That's what I would do.
That's what I would probably do as well, even though I love rare breed. How often do you drink Redbreast 12?
Yeah,
I say go for it.
Feels like the right time.
Eric Gunderson in the house. We're getting Gunderstruck. Mary S. Cheers to you. Tom, Whiskey and Wine Trails. Great to see you. DK Tucker loves Monterey.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah.
Rusty.
Coast to coast. Yeah.
Rusty says we're walking those tacos off, and we have them.
Yeah.
But we need to walk more because we're eating so many tacos. I've got footage of tacos
Yes.
It's going to make a great video one day when I decide to actually do something with it.
We are going to do one. Great suggestion by one of our Patreons. Things we always ask, like things that you want to see.
Right.
He said, best food you've eaten on the road. I thought that was great. And I have a list. Yep. Most of them are tacos.
Yeah, we got some really good ideas from Tim and Terry Griffin. And stay tuned. We're going to have lots of good travel content because we've been doing a lot of whiskey content, obviously more than usual for this channel. But we're enjoying it. So why not? Kim and Eddie are in Hilton Head this week. That sounds nice.
Ooh, nice.
Joe, the sample guy, cheers to you. Stacy and Rich Chiramonte. Everybody's in the house tonight. Beerbird here. Heather's in the house. Richie Z, great to see it. Julia Komanecki. Wow, we are all up and down the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast. We're doing it all
coast
today.
To coast.
We even got somebody in Mountain Time.
Do we?
Tom.
Oh, right.
How about that?
Nice.
Independent Joe in the house. Had the absolute pleasure of hanging out with him not too long ago and eating tacos with him because it's what we do.
That is basically all we do. Oh, I remember what I was going to say when you were talking about the eating tacos. We are a little jealous, and we can get into this depending how much I've drank here, the MB Roland Flight.
Yeah.
Our neighbor, he's making us quite jealous because he is like, he's got all of these gadgets that he uses for the grill. And he's out here like grilling steaks, and he's got his own seasoning.
He really put a hurt on some steaks.
Yeah, and we were like spying through the windows like a bunch of crazy people, and
he had to know we've been watching.
It made us want to up our game.
It's true. I think I said Tim and Terry Griffin gave us those good ideas, and they did. I just want to make sure it was them because Tim and Teresa Gallivan are also online tonight, and a lot of alliterative family organization going on here. So cheers to all of you. Man, there's a lot going on. Kathy says that she checked in. I believe this is MB Roland today with all the flooding in Kentucky, and we are thinking about all of you out there. Stay safe, everybody. Both their entrances are underwater, hoping they'll open by Wednesday.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
We've seen some of the photos just, from online. It's
a lot.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's great to see so many of you online tonight, and Chad Gazinski in the house too. There we go, right smack dab in the middle of the country. I'm telling you, there are people online from everywhere. I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not. The internet, very neat. There's people from everywhere. It's really stunning, and we're thrilled that you're all here. Oscar, greetings from the Texas Hill Country.
Love it. Still talking about my brisket.
Still talking about Texas Hill Country. It's gorgeous. What's going on with Phil's hair under that hat? Stacy, don't you think it's a little early in the evening? How have we even gotten into the whiskey yet?
We did go for a walk today, and Phil. So yesterday we did record a video. You showered. You put in gel.
Little product.
It's very long, so it got very fluffy. I didn't think we were going to be talking about your hair so early in the stream.
It happened
all
quickly.
This whiskey. Yeah.
It happened quickly.
But today we went for a little afternoon stroll, as you do, to get away from work. And I remember thinking like everything was kind of weighted down from the gel, and you just had these little curls in the back. And I thought, you're going to put a hat on today, and you're going to have that like baseball look that was really popular last year or 2 years ago.
I don't watch baseball.
Well, I was like, I think they all had like mullets, really. And then it was just like curl in the back. And I was like, someone's going to make a comment about it.
Yeah.
And didn't take long.
Well,
less than 8 minutes.
We'll get into it at some point. I think, maybe let's have some drinks first.
Yeah.
You guys rock. Thank you, Maze Man.
Thank you.
You rock as well. Darren Toy in the house. There you go. How about it? Oregon, coming back to Oregon. We are not that far away now. We are circling back around. The end of this trip is about to happen.
It is.
It is. We are.
Are you ready?
Maybe. We've been on the road for
a while.
This week it's been 200 days.
Yeah. Since
we've seen our house. Since we've been to Oregon.
Somebody at my work said one of my coworkers was like, "You got to get back sooner." I'm like, "We're on our way."
It snowed there last week. I'm not in a hurry.
And my other coworker was like, "If you've only been here for 3 months out of the year over the last year, is it really your home?" And I was like, "That is a good question."
No, it's our house. I don't care if it's our home or not. Our home is right here, wherever we are. Yeah. That's what home is where you spend it with family.
Yes, where your heart is. Isn't that from like a 90s movie? Home is where the heart is. Oh yeah,
it was like the one. Movie.
It was the one with
Keira Knightley.
No,
Natalie Portman.
Yep.
Really? I was just gonna name names.
It was Natalie Portman.
Right.
Very long.
I was gonna go Eliza Dushku on the next one. Remember her?
Yes, I do.
All right.
But
we might be the last two who do.
You probably don't remember the movie, but it was like she had a baby in a Walmart named an Americus. Anyway, you had to be a girl in the 90s. So anyway.
That's rough. Teresa Martinez in the house, right down the road here. Very cool. And all right, we're going to get to pouring here because I want to make sure we get to it. Phil has hair. Sugar Kitty is jealous of that.
I also just want to, I always like to add this comment in, and we talked about Red Breast well, but what are you drinking today? Because I am always interested. And I will be honest, one of the reasons we're probably more anxious to get home than more other reasons is let's get back to that bottle collection.
Get back to the bottle collection. And also that's where my barber lives. And I do look forward to seeing, I already scheduled the appointment.
Yeah.
Home is where Mavis is. We got multiple people weighing in on that, and it's absolutely right. Stacy says she's a couple pours in.
Perfect.
So she wants to see it.
You're going to be ready today then. I love it.
Let's do it. Let's see what we got here.
It doesn't look bad.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. Does it look like I just took off a motorcycle helmet? A little bit.
Honestly, I mean, yesterday, because we or whatever day it was that we recorded that video,
it's doing a lot.
It was really windy, and you got like a lot of volume.
The day that we recorded that video,
a bit like not clownish. That's not very nice, but
it's clownish. I did the day we recorded that video. I went hat off. And I don't know if I'll regret it or not. We'll see what the comments say when the video comes out in a month or two. But it was a lot.
I love it.
I think we've done enough talking about my hair, and I think everybody would agree. Has Mavis eloped from the show?
So
I hear her.
So she. Okay, so we have a lot of stuff out on the table, a very little table. And if you watched our live streams before, whether Patreon or live, she tends to like jump up to this little nook she has up here and then just catapults down, literally catapults down.
Yes.
And everything shakes. There's not a lot of room for her to do this, so I anticipate at some point just a wrecking ball coming through.
Right. Yeah, and it's precarious because, you know, it's an RV and basically it's just a computer stacked on a couple of Glencairn boxes. That's the real deal. I want to say, by the way, while you're telling us what it is that you're drinking tonight, Julie's going to start pouring, and I just want to wish a happy National Beer Day to those who celebrate.
I do.
Big deal over here. We love beer, and we love California beer. There's a lot of good ones out here. A big shout out to Mike Hess, their Mexican lager. Really thrilled us down in San Diego.
Oh, yeah.
Not Mike Ness from Social Distortion, although I really like his music.
I was going to say, Phil said, hey, there's a Mike Hess Brewing that's down by the pier or whatever. We should go check it out. I'm like, oh, the guy from Social Distortion has a brewery? And he goes, no.
Not that guy.
Close enough.
Let's
pour them all, and then we'll talk about
Let's just start with these to begin with. Kathy, you can let us know where we should begin here. We're thinking we're going to start with the single mash whiskey, and we don't. That's one that I didn't learn much about. Are we going in the order of her photos? Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll bounce around because I want to get to this one next. But Altmore 18 Scotch for Sugar Kitty. Hey, Keith J is in the house. How are you, Keith? Great to see you as always. Give us an update. What's going on with you? Beer Bird drinking a Cedar Ridge bottled and bond bourbon. We have 2 bottles of Cedar Ridge whiskey waiting for us at home. A bourbon and a rye. I believe they're port finished. I can't wait to get home.
So that's why you want to get home.
Let's just get home. Let's go home tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's go straight there. Let's skip the entire California coast. There's no reason to stay here anyway.
It's only an 18-hour drive.
Just kidding. I love it.
Which you could really do in one day.
13th Century Whiskey Company Toasted Barrel Bourbon for Kim and Eddie. Whiskey knows what's up, Marty. Good to see you. Flock of seagulls. Yeah. See the hair. Here it comes.
That's funny.
All right. I'm going to scoot forward a little bit here to catch up. Richie Z in Cali, a few hours from Phil and Julie. North or south, Richie? I bet it's south. I bet we just completely missed you when we were down in that area. Too much hair talk. I hardly noticed. What the hair are you talking about? That's
Love it.
Exactly. There's too much hair. All right. Yeah, 80 days on the road without a haircut drives me crazy. I had one haircut in December, and it wasn't enough.
It's not from lack of trying.
Yeah.
I always try, and you always say when I get home.
Well, I'm lazy. Tom is enjoying a Cedar Ridge Quintessential. You know what? That's a great whiskey. I've been saving a tiny sample of their Pete and Sherry first anniversary bottle.
Pete and Sherry sound like a nice couple.
Yeah.
Like a nice neighbor.
Yeah. And what's peated and Sherry finished. Okay. I've been saving a little bit of that just for like our last night on the road. Because it's really a beautiful bottle.
Because it is your favorite. I feel like if somebody said, what's the favorite bottle you've had? Cedar Ridge might be it.
I mean, on average, I've never had a bad one. So I would say they are near the top of the list for sure. Chasing with a Sierra, and I've had a Big Little Things IPA. Somebody's celebrating National Beer Day out there, and I love it. Kathy says, start with the single mash, go with the rye last. Got it. What can you tell us about that single mash? And again, a huge thank you to Kathy Huey for this flight. John Shank from Yorktown, Virginia. Love it.
Yeah.
San Francisco Bay. Oh, Richie, we're going to be in your neck of the woods over the next couple days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're scooching.
We've never stayed on the coast in the San Francisco area. This will be our first time doing that. We've always been in the city. Fun stuff we hear. It's supposed to be pretty.
Yeah.
That was a good sentence I just said. Tim Galvin, Whiskey Acres, Blue Corn flowing at the Galvin house. I love that. And I love the way you worded that. See, that's a sentence.
Yep.
Killing a bottle of rare breed for Oscar. Hollister, California, real close to Monterey. Cheers to you, Jeremy Dirks. Great to see you. And okay, on to the whiskey. Let's do it. Because I've got one other topic. I get exhausted all the things I wanted to talk about tonight. We've been on for 16 minutes.
Yeah.
I haven't had a drink yet. You got to slow me down with a drink.
I know. So, okay. MB Roland is what we're doing tonight. The first one is the barrel proof single mash whiskey. What does it come in at? 100.6.
That's Munich malt. Yeah, sometimes barrel proof is low proof.
I just always thought it had to be like over like 115 or something.
One thing I heard about this brand, and it's not true because based on the bourbon I'm seeing right here, I heard previously that they'd never released anything under 100 proof, even their standard bourbon. But I do see a single barrel bourbon sitting here at 99.4 proof, it appears. So there may be something under 100 proof after all.
It smells lovely.
Munich,
so what should I expect?
Munich malt. It's pot still.
Okay.
Pot distilled, so you get a little bit of funk from that.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually been told that some of their stuff is a touch Scotch-ish because of that pot still. I don't know what that means. I just saw a couple of people mention it in reviews.
Have there been any comparisons? Like, oh, if you like this brand, you'll love. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Power of suggestion. We'll see.
This is MB Roland, still and barrel proof Kentucky single mash whiskey, Munich malt, 100.6 proof.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Yes.
We're very in sync. Oh, it is musty.
This is interesting here.
Ooh,
MBR is bottled.
Really musty.
Is this all their bottles are bottled at barrel proof and non-chill filtered? Ooh, boy, does that have a lot of flavor. That's a chocolate bomb right there.
Yeah, it has a bit of a farm note to it, so it's a little farmy, a little musty.
Man.
Malty.
Oh, that's
chocolatey.
Very chocolatey.
Yeah.
There's a vanilla extract. You get what I'm breathing out now is reminiscent of nosing a bottle of good vanilla extract.
It smells a bit Frey Ranch to me.
I can see that.
Like on the nose, and that's why I like to make comparisons of things maybe that you have had or have not had, but like we've had Frey Ranch obviously before.
Allow me to say also a congratulations to Whiskey Acres, Frey Ranch, and Highwire Distilling, all receiving shout outs in, I believe, the latest issue of Whiskey Advocate for Grain to Glass article. A big thank you to Russ D for sharing that tidbit with us. Oh boy, here she comes. Melissa's in the house. Cheers to you. And let's get this off screen so that everybody can see the cat. Well, that's not the angle we wanted, but
turn around and say hi.
There she goes.
Oh
okay.
Boy, there's too many glasses. She says.
Too much here, Mom.
Oh gosh.
Let's go upside down. That's the way to do it. Good girl. Yeah. This is Mavis for those of you who don't know.
Oh yeah, for the new people. Oh, see, everyone always knows. For the newbies, Mavis.
By the way, if you were on our Patreon live stream, if you got to see that recently, you know the challenge coins that we were trying to get ordered. You know that those were featuring Queen Mavis. Let them drink whiskey.
Yeah,
they're happening.
Oh yes, we got approval.
They're already ordered.
Maybe they were a bit too intricate.
Yeah. Patreon, stay tuned. It won't be too long. Steve Himmelfarb in the house. We love Steve. Ransom Spirits.
Yes.
Great to see you, Steve.
Steve.
Thanks for joining us.
We're on our way back. We talked about going to do the whiskey wine trail
Would
again.
love to go back through there. Oh, this is delightful, this whiskey. It really has American single malt vibes to it, even though I don't think it's a single malt. It's single mash with Munich malt. The chocolate and the dry wood notes, and yeah, the mustiness, I suppose, but it's more like walking through an old barn.
Chocolatey.
So those are the coins are good to go. The shirts have been selected for those of you getting shirts, and the doing butt whops here, and the glasses are, the design is finally coming together. Took me a while to come up with something I really liked for those.
Yeah, so let's talk about this first one. Very like, I think a lot of time I try to associate flavors with types. And I remember a while ago we kept getting things that were really malty, and it was always chocolatey. And so I think that is like the predominant note for me here. It drinks cold, which I always like to say. Like,
yeah, it feels cold on the tongue.
Cold on the tongue, pretty chocolatey.
Yeah,
it's got a nice warmth. Like, it's only 100. What did you say? 100.6.
100.6. Yeah.
It drinks warmer than that. I mean, it doesn't drink, but the
spice,
the hug is definitely there.
Yeah, this is delightful. And for my palate, I don't know, does this hit your palate as well as it hits mine? Because this is the type of whiskey that I get excited about.
Yeah,
my mouth is watering. It's got that sort of dry oak paneling, walking through a barn, walking through a rick house, touch of hay, maybe even. Is beer like?
Yeah. I feel like I'm like the Julie Downer the last two live we had, because we did single malts on our Patreon one last time, and I really love them, but I don't love them as much as you. So I'm always very like critical, like critiquey of like what I like and don't like, and that's kind of how I am here. I find this really enjoyable. Yeah, it's definitely a not, well, for my palate, not an everyday. Like, it's fun and interesting. I could see drinking this with a group to see, like, have a discussion.
Yes, let's all
taste it and tell me what you think about it. Definitely feel those vibes on this one, especially.
The bourbon jerk in the house. Great to see you. Lawana Burrows, welcome. Cheers to you. We're drinking MB Roland Kentucky single mash whiskey, 100.6 proof. MB Roland currently underwater, but not for long. They'll be here. They'll be back in business soon.
Better than ever.
Probably. I'm going to set this one aside.
Me too. Do you want me to leave it here so it's
should we do that? That'd be great. Thank you.
I'll be in the back row. Not that it will really matter later on.
So next up, I'm thinking the bourbon, and then we move on to the rye. How does that sound?
We're gonna go all the way to the right.
Yeah, because does that work for you, Kathy? Does that sound like a good idea?
This is single barrel bourbon, 99.4 proof.
Paul's. Yeah, tell us all about that one, Kathy. Meanwhile, while you're gathering any information on that, I have a little bit of a special presentation, something I've been wanting to do. I've been thinking about this for a while, and so I'm gonna share that now.
Thanks for joining our PowerPoint presentation.
Right. Well, this is a thing to me. We don't have all the same people on WhiskeyTube right now that we started the year with. We did have to say goodbye to some, and so that is something that is near and dear to our hearts, because we love everybody who produces content on WhiskeyTube, and we just want to do a little shout out to them. So this is an in memoriam segment.
Okay.
That we're going to do really quickly. Here it comes. In the arms of an angel.
Oh, is that it?
I guess that's the only channel that we lost apparently. Okay, I wasn't a big fan of that song either, but it happened.
Oh, that was very quick.
It was a lot shorter than I expected it to be. That segment, I thought it was going to be. I thought maybe there were several others. I'm going to fire our intern for that one.
Yeah, Jimmy.
The intern,
Jimmy's back.
Out of here. No, in all honesty, I do want to say David and Kira, whiskeychannel.com, they called it quits. In case you weren't aware of that, they are good friends of ours, and their content hilarious all the time. And it wasn't maybe not everybody's cup of tea, right. But there's no doubt that the effort that they put in music videos and songs and just things that they created, they were fantastic from start to finish.
And just like the nicest people in the world. Literally, Phil's always like, they'd give you the shirt off their back, and they probably have, and they totally would, and they're just lovely.
Yeah, and I'm probably ruining their reputation right now by saying this.
Awful people.
They're really sweet people. And so if all you know about them is what you see online, and you think like, man, they kind of seem like They're just a little bit out
a little
there.
crazy.
They're totally out there,
Yeah.
but they're also very sweet.
Yeah.
So we'll miss them. Great job to them for doing all the things that they did while they were here.
I don't know if you know this about me, but I like to laugh.
Right.
And I feel like now there's less laughter on the internet.
They were our favorites. Yeah. Yeah. We don't watch too much Whiskey Tube, but anytime there was a live stream, usually we were going to bed because they would go late and we would just be like, happen to see it. And we were going to bed on the West Coast and they're still going on the East Coast time. We're like, what is happening here?
I literally said something that was like, we always call ours like happy hour with the Bourbon Band. And I was like, but it's like 5 o'clock our time, but it's like 8 o'clock most people's time. So I'm like, technically not happy hour. Should really start thinking about that. Happy hour would be like if we were drinking like at 2, I guess, and everybody else. But whatever.
Whiskey Dictionary also just retired. Oh, I didn't realize that. Jeez. Well, they're dropping like flies. And speaking of dropping in, the whole thing rattles every time you jump up here, sweetheart.
Sign up there. That is a real show you're giving everybody.
Yeah, right. We're gonna get demonetized.
Yeah, you can sit there. I thought she was gonna sit down.
I don't think she's going to sit at all tonight. Paul's pick. Paul's the owner who picks a barrel every year. This is his barrel pick, and this is an under 100 proof, 99.4 proof.
Okay, so.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about who these glasses are from.
Yeah, so I went because those are the orders you had, and I specifically took this one. We just met Independent Joe like 2 weeks ago.
Show his Glencairn. This is amazing. He's such a baller.
Yes,
just crushed us with that. It's actually.
I feel like it was better. Oh, there it is.
It's actually like 3-dimensional.
I feel like we do some cool stuff.
Nah.
But then Joe gave us this glass, and I just put my finger on it. I was like, it's etched. This is like next level awesome.
Yeah.
It's like so cool. Plus, he had a t-shirt that was better than ours was and all the good stuff.
Yeah, he had a t-shirt that he made with our logo on it. That was still better than anything we ever did.
Yeah.
And I do have a Whiskey Nose Golden Glen.
I love it.
We had a lot of whiskey to get to tonight, and so we started breaking out glasses from other channels. Big thank you to both of them for giving us these glasses.
Yeah, I honestly can't believe that we have 6 Glencairns in our van. Seems excessive.
Do you know that we have
and then 2 more drinking glasses somewhere else?
Yeah, we have a grand total of 2 admins on this channel, and it's those 2. It's Independent Joe and Marty from Whiskey Nose. So big thanks to them.
Oh, that's great. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out because, I feel like I have to hand wash this too.
I just did.
No, I mean not like just always, because I generally just throw ours in the dishwasher when we're at home, and that's why hardly any of them have any labeling anymore.
Yeah, they're not in great shape. Lots and lots of sugar and oak here.
Okay. I forgot what we're drinking already.
MB Roland single barrel bourbon.
I was gonna say, what did we say about Paul? Here he is, Paul's pick. Oh, nice. He's the owner.
And it smells delightful. I could see why you would smell this and say, I want that in a glass.
So this is real bourbon. Sorry. Straight bourbon.
Straight bourbon. And again, out of a pot still. Don't have an age on this one. Don't have an age on any of them, I don't think.
Have you drank it yet?
No, not yet. Would you like to?
Yes. I don't know. So, for some reason, I got a little banana in the nose. It's definitely not going to be a flavor that's on it.
I don't disagree, though.
Really?
Yeah, like a mushy banana.
All right. Do I get a cheers every time?
Why not?
Cheers, everybody. Cheers with us. Drink whatever you're drinking. Yeah. Everyone take a sip.
Do it right now.
You're so pushy. I'm thinking about it. This also has a chocolatey note, which I was not expecting. I think that's why I had such a long pause, because I had to look back down. And I was like, "Yep, sure enough, it says bourbon down there."
I don't know that this is like anything else I've ever tasted before.
I always think, and I mean, this is what makes whiskey, in my opinion, exciting.
Yeah.
It's all the like random stuff that we're doing, from major distilleries to craft distilleries. It gets really farmy. It gets, sweet. It could be like funky. It could be whatever, right?
Yeah.
And this fits in line. Like I had a expectation that this may be like fruity and oaky and whatever, and it's completely different. So I'm gonna take another sip.
Yeah. it's just very interesting. I've never had anything quite like it.
It smells grainy to me. So on the nose I'm getting grainy, on the palate I'm getting grainy. So it that's definitely a flavor that comes through. Also that chocolate note, which maybe was just left over.
It's not. It doesn't strike me as young grain though. It's more like wow, it is ultra sweet. This is.
They have a profile, like it's a farm to table kind of profile. And it's kind of what I always say about like Frey Ranch has like a very like farm to table type profile. They also have that, in my opinion.
It's almost like, yeah, it's like wood. It's like words. It's like Woodford Reserve. If it was really bold and willing to take risks.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't say that they're not, because they're a distillery after all. But this is like,
it's not fudgy. This isn't like fudgy Woodford.
No. This is like something is pushing an envelope in an extreme way. Extreme whiskey with big capital X.
I'm probably wrong, but like I'm gonna stand behind. There's something sweet corn about this. So like the grain that I'm getting feels like it has more of like a sweet corn taste to it, that's the grain that's predominant for me. Something about the nose on it too.
Man,
yeah,
I keep waiting for the chocolate to hit really heavily, and then it doesn't. Kathy says that she gets malted milk balls on the finish. Maybe that's why this is so unusual. I mean, when's the last time you had one?
They weren't my favorite.
My dad loves them.
My dad loves them too. And there's something about
I never disliked them. It's just like when you see them,
it's like that weird crackery malt. Well, it's malt, but like it's I don't know. It just always was so strange to me. Maybe I'd like them as an adult.
This is really good.
Good.
I think it's delightful. I'm thrilled by this. I think that at 99.4 proof, this drink's really, it's a satisfying pour at that proof point.
Yeah.
Delightful. This is my favorite one, I think, so far. We've had two.
I was like, I don't even barely remember the first one. Let's try it.
Let's do one more sip of this. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, I was going to go back to the other one.
You know what it's... Oh, go ahead. You know what it smells like? It smells like those chocolate wafers. When you get the Vortman cookie packs, you can get the vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate. This one smells like the chocolate one. Which I guess malted milk balls would make sense there.
Wow, it does taste a lot different than that first one. You always say Wortman's. I don't know what that is. That was not a thing. I feel like we've talked about this on a stream before.
You used to shop at Waltz.
Yeah.
Waltz.
I don't know what that is.
Was his name. He was an old Dutch man, and Vortman cookies. Well, an American man of Dutch descent, and Vortman was a very Dutch-ish cookie brand.
I'm not saying. Are they like that? Like were they long?
Some of them. I think that they had other.
And they were like wafers, like on the top, but they had like a cream filling.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. I haven't had those. Those were. Give me Skittles.
Yeah, stroopwafel type thing. You love Skittles.
What's the chocolate?
Actually, like Vortman windmill cookie. That was about the best thing in the whole world. This is delightful. I'm going to save some for later.
Okay.
I really liked that, and I'm going to sip some of this odd bubbly water that we've got here.
We picked it up at a grocery store, and we've been talking about it ever since, because there is actually a lot of flavor in this, and I was trying to figure out, because it says that I'm not gonna be able to read that. It's got organic lime flavor, and I was like, I don't know what that means. Like, it feels like those are contradictory words. Organic flavor. Organic lime flavor. I don't know.
It's none of my business. I'm not in the science business.
All right. So which one are we going to next? There's 107 and.
They're both rye. They're both single barrels.
Okay. Let's do this one and end on. They are both single barrels?
I believe so.
Barrel proof.
This is single barrel rye. That is single barrel rye. I think they're all single barrels. I think that's the idea.
Oh, perfect.
A 103 proof on this one, and that one's 107. Why don't we start with the 103? We'll ease our way into these ryes.
Sure.
Thank you. Monterey Bay is beautiful. It's terrific. We've seen whales. We have seen.
We haven't seen them. We just think
we've seen spouts, and I'm pretty sure we've seen them crashing back into the water. There's a ton of whale watching boats that go out from here.
We thought about doing that,
and
but
then
I'm always such a skeptic. Like, I'm going to spend all that money, and then I'm just going to go on a really cold boat ride.
I think you would definitely see them out there. They're busy based on what we could see of their spouts.
Ooh, I love the color of this. by the way.
What is the dark fired bourbon and dark fired rye that they make there? We've heard a lot about it, but I actually didn't read any reviews on it because I don't think I had anything here.
This one makes me very excited. I was going to say off the nose, this feels more what I would drink. A lot of brown sugar on this nose.
Yeah. I'm going to find out too.
Oh, so they have sonar to find the well. So when I was in Florida fishing with my dad, they also have sonar. It didn't seem to help, though, at least our side of the boat. Apparently, the back side of the boat was having all kinds of luck. And our side was having no, until we anyway. It's interesting. It feels like there's a lot of whales right now.
Other than a lively nose, and you wouldn't confuse this for anything other than a rye, I don't think.
There's almost an evergreen presence on this. Very minty, brown sugary.
Mark Wells, the weather is hazy but lovely.
This weekend, it's been windy everywhere we go. Everybody else across the country is dealing with all the wind as well, too.
Seems like it.
Feels like it's just been such a windy wintry off season. But yesterday, it was like 60s and lovely. So as long as you can duck behind a
dune,
a tree or a dune, it was like a beautiful, crystal clear, beautiful blue sky. Today is very hazy.
Yeah. I want to drink this.
Okay, sorry.
Cheers.
Cheers. I just had my hand up here, I was excited. I always like to point out things.
Wow.
End of sentence. This also has they definitely have a profile. I can taste that in the rye. The same thing that carried over from the first two carries over into here. I'm getting a lot of mint on this though.
The rye presence is here. The pot distillation is here. And there's something going on with their barrels or their rickhouse or something that generates a very musty flavor profile.
Mm-hmm.
And whether these are well-aged or not, and I don't know that they are all distillery-only releases, I believe Kathy just said. Whether they're well-aged or not, they give you the impression that they're well-aged. Mm-hmm. So it's a pretty neat trick if they're not. But these are lively, flavorful. That mint is just dancing on my tongue. The rye spice. This is chocolatey. Again, the chocolate is part of their profile. It's delightful.
This one for me, I think of the three we've had so far, probably not for you, is the one that I like the most. Because I think some of that sweetness that you're getting from which is odd, right? You usually think rye, you think it's really spicy. There could be sweetness too, but also a little bite that ryes have.
Yeah.
For me, it melds with that chocolatey flavor profile in there. And it makes it almost like a sweeter drink. And so I really like that in this one.
Yeah, the mustiness, whatever's happening in the barrel, whatever that mustiness is, it's balancing very nicely against the big, bright, lively flavor of this rye.
Unmistakable though. If you had the 4 of these and then you had 4 other ones and you were trying to figure out which brand was MB Roland and your brain was well, there's 4 of them, so they have to smell similarly, you would not miss it. These first 3 smell remarkably. There's a note that ties them all together.
Absolutely. Yeah. Delightful. Very nice whiskeys, all of these.
I like this one.
What's the price on these, Kathy? Are these pricey? 60, 70, I would imagine.
Maybe this is just scratching
She just really wants to go
outside. We take her for 4 walks a day. It feels like too many walks, to be honest.
She must have gone on 10 walks yesterday. She's out there all the time. Today she busted out the door to try and get some birds. We had to secure the door more.
Mm-hmm.
Sneaky.
I like this one. I think that unmistakably rye.
Coats like crazy, this one.
Yeah.
Man.
But it's not spicy. So I think that's it's kind of like what is the 2 flavors of gum that? Is it winter fresh and
a wintergreen?
Or whatever. Whatever the brighter one is.
Yeah.
Not the one that you don't like. It's
no, there's no spearmint
it's
here. No, it's a winter
mint
type of thing.
Yeah.
Which is sweeter. And like you said, it's delightful.
Yeah.
Very nice. This one, man, it coats the glass and it coats your palate. We will definitely have to cleanse the palate a little bit before the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Are you secretly looking for RV sites to invest for future adventure, or is it too early in the tasting to say? We've already booked more than a month and a half of 2026.
So
we are finding things that we like and booking them.
Well, yeah. So our patrons know this, but the last 2 years have been more of a search, which is why
exploration.
This one felt like a search and rescue because we were like really ramping our way through the.
We had to rescue our
coast to coast. But last year we kind of did half the U.S., southern U.S., and this year we did the other half, and then now we're trying to make our way back to try to find like great places for next year that we'd like to go in the off season. And I feel like we have a couple good suggestions.
Yeah, we already booked.
I'm gonna give you that one. I booked that spot.
We already booked a few places. Price points 50 to 75 on these. That's about what I would expected. That's pretty good. Cheers with a Green River Rye, Chuck. That sounds delightful. We actually have one on board. We have a sample. That's our next flight that we're going to record, I believe.
Yep, we're going to record a whole flight of it.
Yep. Charles Martin, if you're driving up Highway 101 north of San Francisco, Mendocino Spirits just north of Ukiah is a must try. You won't be disappointed.
Oh, nice.
I don't think we're going that route.
They want us to go to the 101, but we want to take the one.
Google wants us.
Google, yes, wants us to go because it is faster. It's like instead of 8 hours, it takes you 4.
It saves
one of those
2 to 3
situations.
hours, yeah.
But we've never taken the one. We've taken the 101 before.
We're overdue to stay on the coast.
I'd really like to take the one, even though it's like twice as long.
Even though we had to skip half of it the day we went through LA because of the slide south of Malibu, and then we had to skip another huge chunk of it because of the slide by Big Sur. So we've missed a lot of it. We'll have to come back and make up for that. But we are having such a nice time here in Monterey that we decided to stay on the one and enjoy ourselves all the way through, because the weather also looks like it's going to be pretty good. If it was going to be super rainy or something, we'd probably just take the 101 and zip back home, but we're not in a big hurry to do that.
I have a couple campsites picked out.
Oh, you already gave me the new ride.
Phil's probably not super stoked about, but we're going to give it a go.
I'm getting to that point where I'm ready to get home. I got to be honest, when we were in Malibu the first 2 days, it was really rainy. We were only there for 3 days.
And I did have that moment, like the whole time we've been in California, it's been kind of overcast and raining. I'm like, who's this that says it's sunny in California all the time? They're always lying.
But then before that, we were in San Diego, and that particular campground was like overwhelming. It wasn't restful. It wasn't peaceful. We were trying to work, and we were kind of getting beat up a little bit. It felt like. Then we get to Malibu, and the weather was garbage. And then the last couple of stops that we've had, the weather has been absolutely perfect, and that we've had very peaceful areas to camp in. The campgrounds we've gone to have been great. The one that we went to a couple days ago, we were there for the past weekend.
Beach.
Oh man, we watched a rocket take off, and
apparently
it was
by a what is it called?
Space Force Base.
Space Force Base.
It was cool.
Space Force. It was cool. Phil had just randomly said like, "Oh, apparently there's a Space Force base." Like literally, we were not allowed to leave.
Yeah, it was right next to us.
It's like government property, and I was like, I wonder if there's going to be a launch. And so he pulled up the Google machine, and it was that date. And
have you guys been on that thing?
Yeah, and I couldn't believe that it actually went up because it was so windy.
It was super windy that day, but it did, and we heard it for a good long time. It was cool.
Yeah.
We recorded 5 Sips in the Wind. And they turned out great because of the microphones that Robert Sheard did.
Robert Sheard, extra shout out. You're going to get shout outs in like a bunch of our videos because we keep going to the windiest places ever and then recording. And they're turning out probably better than this live stream.
Better than usual, yeah. Can't decide whether I should pour a dram of JD Barrel Proof Rye or Old Forester Single Barrel. Wow, you can't really go wrong with either one of those. That's a Brown-Forman conundrum right there.
Yeah, so... The interesting part about the Old Forester single barrels is that we have a couple at home. And I always feel like they're really strong.
We've had a couple that were really strong, and then we've had samples that were not strong at all, that tasted beautiful, even at higher proof.
Yeah, we just tried one, and I couldn't believe it.
It was amazing.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that the bottle we have at home and the bottle that I was drinking, I wish it was... Our neighbor just ran into their...
He totally backed right into his Airstream. Oh, goodness.
Do you think... Oh, let's see. Sorry.
Let's not watch.
We're not going to watch, but I'm going to look at the corner of my eye.
Don't do it.
They're looking at it right now.
Teresa just made herself an Old Forester Old Fashioned with Statesman. Great idea. That's a great proof point. 95 on that. That's a nice one.
I haven't had Statesman in a while.
It's been a long time.
I forget because we drank that bottle and then never replaced it.
Man, that's
because I am a little irritated about the price point of it, but it's delicious. Like I feel like I would always have it on my shelf.
It is very nice. This rye smells a lot higher proof, even though it's only a couple of proof points.
Yeah.
By the way, this is the MB Roland Barrel Proof Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey, 107.4 proof. Anything special listed on this one? Not that I see. Mash bill, rye, white corn, and something else. That's a nice combo.
I'm about to ask a dumb question, and maybe it's not dumb, but it probably is. White corn, yellow corn,
blue corn, red corn.
Well, blue corn, red corn, yes, I know it has like a different flavor profile, but white corn, yellow corn, like, do you think like yellow corn's a bit sweeter?
I think it all matters.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about like when you buy corn, frozen corn from the store.
Yeah. This, by the way, smells considerably more crafty than anything else on the table.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
Same profile. If this was a 5-Sip Friday, I would have said this was Fry Branch.
Just a different barrel in 2 different years.
Yeah. It has that farming quality to it that is very reminiscent.
This one definitely has a bigger tingle on the tongue, a bigger tingle on the finish there. It's the proof comes through on this one. It's nice. I don't dislike it, but I don't off the jump like it anywhere near as much as I liked the other one that was just a couple proof points lower.
Less punch of that like rye spice, less punch of that like evergreen minty flavor.
Yeah.
The other one screamed a rye to me, but also had some differentiation. This one, like those flavors kind of all blend together a bit. The nose very striking, but the flavor profile, I think you're right. I think I like the other rye better.
This tastes younger to me in every respect.
Needs a little bit more time.
Yeah, you get a candy corn sweetness, but then it's immediately sort of overwhelmed by the rye spice and the proof spice, honestly.
Yeah.
Where you going? Come by dad? Go by mom. Yeah.
Oh. Sit here.
She's on one tonight. All she wants to do is go outside. She just wants to party all the time. Because it's so nice.
Who doesn't? Some cats like to party all the time. Copyright strike.
Copyright strike.
Party all the time.
If we don't get a copyright strike for that awesome Sarah McLachlan song from earlier, we're not going to get
it. I was like, she didn't sing party all the time. I don't know who did, but it was definitely not her.
My girl likes to party all the time. Who would that have been? That wasn't Eddie Murphy, was it?
Maybe?
I think that was like Eddie Murphy single.
Like from
anybody remember?
What was it? Coming to America?
I don't know what he would have recorded. I think he just recorded that because he could. I think it was Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Do you also know we watched in honor of Val Kilmer, by the way, have one for him.
Yeah, we're two movies in.
We've been watching Val Kilmer
We've only
movies.
watched like 5 movies since
in 200 days.
In like 200 days, and we watched 2 of them in the last 2 days. They were both Val Kilmer movies, and I wasn't disappointed with either of them.
But yeah, we watched Real Genius a couple nights ago,
which I had never seen. That's why we watched
last night. The reason I'm thinking about this is because we watched Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which is all kinds of fun. I love that movie.
Yeah. My favorite part of it at the end was like,
you're gonna give it away?
No, there's no explaining.
Okay.
But Val Kilmer comes in and it says, "For all you Midwesterners out there, sorry that we said the F word so many times." And I really thought that was hilarious because I did notice it. I am from the Midwest.
Yeah.
And I did note. I was like,
you got called out.
I was like, but it was 2009 too, and we were really letting it roll there. But I didn't say anything about the movie that would give away.
Well, the one thing that I will give away is that when the credits roll, you will hear what is one of them. I was listening to it and I just kept going. I just kept saying, "This song is terrible.
There's no
Who
way
is singing this song. What is this crap?" And then at the end, it showed who did the music, and it was Robert Downey Jr. singing it.
I think, you were like, I think he was trying to do like a comeback or something.
I don't know who he talked into letting him do that. It was horrible. Terrible song, terrible singing, awful. Robert Downey Jr., love him in a lot of things, but I hated him in that song.
Yeah. So we have so here's the problem that we always have. We're not big movie. Like, I don't need to watch like all the movies or whatever. I just kind of want to. So when we were trying to select a movie, we're like, Val Kilmer just died. We just watched Tombstone, which is probably his all-time, outside of Top Gun, in my opinion, all-time best. Whatever.
I put him way above.
Phil hated Top Gun.
I've never liked Top Gun. I never understood it.
Yeah. And so we looked and we saw a Weird Science, and it was like Saturday. And we're looking for something like easy, and I had never seen it, and I thought actually it was pretty good. I mean, it's 1986, and I thought it held up. There was nothing like horrible about it, because a lot of those older movies are like,
Wait, Real Genius?
Yeah.
Except for like the 35-year-old woman that showed up. And
Well,
was hitting on the
we still don't understand what that is all
and
about.
she was like, I've been waiting 3 years for you. And we were like, who is this character? She must have been edited out of earlier in the movie or something, because we were like, what is happening here?
There was an instance where like the kid was like he was a genius, so real genius. But he was only 15, and so he was in college, and then you're like, ooh, in 86, like, you know, if a 19-year-old was like hitting a 15-year-old, it probably wasn't a big deal. Not so great now.
Not so much.
That's, you just take some concessions, but
yeah.
But
Gerald Hudson says he's with me on Top Gun. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and then we watched Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. We were gonna do The Saint, which was also a classic late 90s. What was the song? Remember? Oh,
The Saint?
No, like, remember, In a Time. You're gonna do it way better.
It's all of the movie.
The entire 90s had this kind of intro.
And early 2000s.
Yeah.
Every time there was an action movie, in a world, there's one man. All those movies. Anytime I hear that voice, I'm like, oh boy, this is gonna be a terrible movie that I'm gonna love. There
was many identities, but only one love that could bring him through. And I was like, oh yeah, totally. Like,
this is great. Yeah.
He had like 100 passports like Jason Bourne, and then he, or James Bond.
The one thing you're gonna do is throw it all away. Yeah.
We didn't watch The Saint. Maybe
Stacy says check out Salt and Sea with Val Kilmer. We watched the trailer for it. We'd never heard of it, but we love the Salt and Sea. We love Val, and we're going to check it out.
Legitimately, I don't remember. Was somebody on Reddit saying something about it? I don't know.
No, it's just it was a friend of ours on Instagram mentioned it.
Oh yeah, and so we watched the trailer. It felt very heavy for what we were looking for, but I will add it to the list because
Was it the Sneaker Pimps? I think you're talking about The Saint. The Saint had a great soundtrack. There was a ton of good music in that.
Yeah, which is the only reason I think you wanted to watch it. And Elizabeth Shue.
Oh, I like her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Did I drink this yet? Oh yeah, this is.
Rich and I called them talkies and haven't seen a movie in years. That's beautiful. Deja Vu with Val Kilmer and Denzel.
Oh, Deja Vu. I don't know that one.
I'm in. See, we don't know anything about anything.
Yeah. Well, because
Mazeman is watching Absinthe.
I don't know.
Or drinking Absinthe.
I don't know who's out there on this team, but generally our weekends when we're at home start with, I tell Phil, hey, I'd really love to watch a movie tonight. And then I spend the next hour and a half watching 100 previews of recent movies that I'm like, that's terrible. I don't want to watch that. I don't know. And then we finally find one, but it's too late. And so I'm like, we'll do that tomorrow. And then you don't watch the movie.
By the time she finds one, I'm half a bottle into whatever I've been sipping, and I'm already asleep.
And so then we watch the movie the next day, or we just end up watching some sort of like The Other Guys.
A lot of people saying that Val Kilmer is great in the Doors movie, and he is.
I don't know if I've seen that.
Unfortunately, I'm not a huge Doors
fan. That was during
fan.
that.
I know people aren't going to be happy with me for saying that, but the Doors were never my favorite.
He was a poet.
I like Ray Manzarek. He's cool. Yeah. Our friend Michael used to say, oh, he's a poet every time his music came on. And it would always be like some like really infantile, like juvenile, sexy lyric. He's like, oh, but he's a poet. And I was always like, oh boy.
He didn't wear a shirt, right? I don't know if that was like why people.
I don't know. He did a lot of things.
Oh, maybe there's a bird on the windshield.
Classic rock is always in the eye of the beholder. So everybody's got a different experience with it. So I don't really hold anybody accountable when it comes to that kind of thing.
I will say that Phil and I are huge Bob Dylan fans. It was one of our first dates. We went to the Illinois State Fair.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was one of our first dates, but like one of the most memorable dates we had. Very early on, I went to the Illinois State Fair where Bob Dylan was playing a concert. I still can't believe I think it was like $20 or something. It makes me feel old, but like
it's crazy.
It was crazy. And we went to see him and I fell in love with him. It was great. And so we've been fans ever since. You were fans because you used to watch for you Chicago people, The Drive 97.1.
I used to listen to it. Yeah.
Yep. And so we just watched
A Complete Unknown.
And it was fantastic. And it's all the music that
I was like, oh man, this kid is way too pretty to play Bob Dylan. This is not going to be good.
It's perfect.
What a talent though.
Loved
Played like him, sounded like him. Had real talents in that movie. It was a lot of fun. And the guy who played Johnny Cash kind of nailed it too. That was fun.
I totally get that people don't like his. My sister was like, I really tried. I just don't dig his voice. I get it.
And I mean, the way that I feel about
Morrison, Jim
Morrison, about like, oh, he's a poet. People feel the same way about Dylan, and I get it. I don't hold it against anybody.
Yeah. And like, I remember back in the day,
True Romance. Now we love that one.
Oh, my bad.
Good girl.
True Romance was on our list, and then instead we watched Real Genius, which is like, I didn't know that Val Kilmer, because all I remember from True Romance was that girl and
Nick Cage.
Nick Cage was not in True Romance. It was it was the other guy from
there's a couple of those super weird movies that I
can't remember his name. You guys tell me what the lead guy's name is. He was very popular during that.
Dennis Hopper.
Not Dennis Hopper.
Oh, well, I like Dennis Hopper.
The only thing I think about in Dennis Hopper is who's the guy that just recently. Good thing Phil's here. I'll have no
Christian Slater.
Thank
there
you.
We go. Not Dennis Hopper.
Who's the guy that died? The filmmaker that died?
David Lynch.
David Lynch. Whenever I think Dennis Hopper, I think David Lynch.
I haven't watched his movies in a long time. Michael, who we were just talking about, we used to have a weird movie night, and we started doing that in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And David Lynch was a staple of those things, but I haven't watched him in years now.
Yeah.
I'm going to bounce around because I finished here with my least favorite of the bunch, which is this higher proof rye.
Perfumey now.
Yeah, that too. I would agree.
I have spent the last 20 minutes talking about movies and just swirling it. Do you think that just
I find
airs it out a little bit?
The best way to enjoy your whiskey is just to keep turning it for like an hour and a half. Take one sip and say, I don't like it anymore.
Oh, I was just thinking about how I was like very proud. I was like, today's going to be the day where we actually talk about whiskey on a live stream. And
you were congratulating yourself.
Yeah, and then we just spent 40 minutes talking about Val Kilmer movies. Which I don't not enjoy.
That rye, that 103.9 proof rye, outstanding. That's one of my that might be my favorite thing of the whole bunch. It's outstanding.
These over by you.
Yeah, get me out of here.
No. Oh, these are mine. Shoot.
Get you out of here. Okay, I'll
You're
take
in the
these
front.
glasses.
I forgot. Sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna take my Marty Whiskey Nose Gold glass.
Then you don't have to
No, I appreciate that.
Whatever.
Did we bring a few bottles with you from home, or is it all road whiskey? I'll tell you what. We just shared on Patreon a couple days ago that we did pick. Well, I mean, we've been picking things up, but we did a video right as we left, showing that we had brought some bottles with us and what they were. And that was a long time ago. I think we had a grand total of 6 bottles in the van.
Most of them are Oregon based because we wanted to share them with.
It was meant to be shared
with the people, like when we got to Chicago or we met on the way.
We wound up giving a few away right off the bat for like donations to things.
Oh yeah. Here's we did that goodbye to David and Kira.
Yeah.
And my sadness, the thing that I'd be basically the only thing that I feel like I really drank on this trip. Not only drank. But like that I always was like, oh, it's at nighttime. I want to have a dram. Was the Wanderback. So I had to have a tearful goodbye 2 weeks ago. And I did share it.
Yeah.
But I would also say that I probably hoarded it as well. So
that's the bottle that we shared that. Speaking of Kurt from SLB being mentioned here, speaking of when we were at his basement bar, we broke that bottle out to share it with him because we wanted him to try that because we thought it was such a special bottle. And he said multiple times, "What is happening? What is he was enjoying it so much." That really thrilled me because like if you can like give him something he's never tried before,
love it.
That's a big deal to me. I also got a sneak peek at their new basement bar. Holy moly.
Yeah.
How cool is that? They're the best.
I'm gonna have to go work on that.
Yeah, I'd like to go to their house and help them work on that.
The rye here, now the 10 whatever proof
3.9.
Lemon predominantly, and I got maple syrup on the nose.
That might explain why I like this one so much.
Yeah.
The wafers are still there. That wafer nose. It really gets me.
But to answer your questions, yes. So we brought with the Wanderback, we brought with Bird Creek,
American which was Malt, long gone.
It disappeared.
Can't wait. We actually
we
met the lead distiller of that when we were in Tucson, and he's like, "Come to Portland as soon as you can when you get back." And we're like, "We're already there. We're coming."
We picked up 2 bottles of Cedar Ridge in Iowa, and by the time we left Chicago, gone.
We picked up 2 more bottles in Chicago, and by the time we got to Charleston, gone.
Yeah.
Their stuff's so good.
What else did we bring from home? We brought a Trails End that we wanted people to try.
We were
going to
share it. 10. We were going to share it, and then we gave it to SLB for their fundraiser.
Oh yeah. So that didn't really count, right? Because we gave it away as a giveaway. So delicious.
My McCarthy's single barrel that I
and
love.
Your McCarthy's, which do we still have that on board?
We do. I've been ever since I found out that they sold out right after we left. There were like 30 bottles, but I guess we talked about it too much. They sold out, and I was like, oh no, I better not drink it all now.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying about the Wanderback. They don't sell it anymore. I have a favorite. I have a favorite edition, and I keep talking about it. And I told Phil, I'm like, I'm gonna stop talking about it because you kept talking about that McCarthy's, and then it's gone and you can't get it anymore. Yeah. And I'm gonna go to every liquor store once we hit the Oregon border and scoop them all up until we get home and have like 45 bottles of this. Because people always ask, what's the favorite thing that you drink?
That's it.
And there's a lot of stuff that's my favorite. She's not
as excited about American Single Malt as I am. That's her favorite bottle.
I find that bottle so delicious. Yeah. It's like cafe au lait, plus it's got the sweetness, it's got a little bit of funk, it's got everything in it that I love. Mm-hmm. Do I want to drink it every day? Maybe not. But in this van so far, I would probably drink it every day. So
did we make it back to Whiskey Del Bac when we passed through? We did, but we were one day early. We missed the spring release of their Distiller's Cut, which we're still tore up about because we got to taste it, but we didn't get to get a bottle of it, and we would have if we could have. It was awesome. It was such a great bottling. And we did buy this year's version of Frontera, which has 1% smoked malt in it. It never had that before, and it makes all the difference. Definitely get your hands on that. And we got Ode to Isla. We finally got our own bottle of Ode to Isla, which I'm so stoked about. Delicious stuff. Richie says McCarthy's and Trails End. Well, Sweet Cindy says Cedar Ridge Barrel Proof is amazing, and it is.
Yeah.
And love the cat. Thank you so much. She's a good girl, even if she's silly right now. You're being the silliest.
She knows we're not paying attention. She hates the computer. She lets us be on computers. I think somehow cats are very intuitive. She knows from a certain point of day, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. we're on our computers, we're working. But come that time, like right now, she knows that we shouldn't be on it.
It's party time.
And so she's always like biting corners and she's being obnoxious. Yeah. She knows it's my time.
Yeah.
So
email Pablo and Waldo, the Gatos Del Bac. Absolutely. Follow Gatos Del Bac on Instagram, by the way. They're adorable. Yeah. McCarthy's and Trails End are Pacific Northwest companies everyone needs to know about. They actually come from the same distillery. McCarthy's Clear Creek Distillery is now a subsidiary or owned by Hood River Distillers. And Hood River Distillers, their name is on that Trails End. Here's the interesting thing. We are picking a Trails End.
Oh, we're announcing this right now?
It's being announced. Trails End 10. You're not going to find it anywhere else. We're getting it.
It's where we're full circle, right?
It's where we started.
It's where we started. I'm not going to say it's where we end, but where we started.
It's the end.
Full circle.
This is the end.
Yeah.
We're getting one of those, and that's big news because that bottle sold out in less than a week. It was our first single barrel that we chose. It
doesn't seem like a crazy thing in whiskey too, but for the bourbon
for us, that's really a huge deal.
Yeah.
And we love Caitlin and the whole team over there. And also we heard that one of their bottles that Garrett put together, Garrett, who was the young fellow when we first started going over there, who is now making his own blends.
Yes.
Their bottle just got a huge accolade from Whiskey Advocate. I forget which one it is. It's one of the sherry blends, I believe. But he did a great job on that, and a huge kudos to them. We love those guys. And there's one other thing that is in the works with Clear Creek that we can't tell you about yet.
Russ, if you're going to buy 25 cases of McCarthy's, then we will do because I'm pretty sure there's no way we could sell McCarthy's.
I mean, we barely were able to sell out of our Del Bac pick, and that was
people are
a
very
small barrel.
Critical about the
American Single Malt, especially peated stuff, would be really hard for us to do. As much as I would love to do it. If you're looking for something great though, Single Malt Frontier, our friend Doug did a single barrel pick of McCarthy's that's finished in a rum barrel, We hear great things about it, and that one is still available on the Hood River Distillers website.
I hate to be a little bit of a come back to the whiskey.
Oh, I thought you were going to be a buzzkill and you were going to go to bed.
No. It's crazy. Coffee now on the single mash whiskey. All of a sudden, and it could be the culmination of all the things,
coffee and powdered cocoa.
Mm-hmm.
The chocolate has changed a little bit. Really nice, though.
So we do not. Okay, we've talked about this in previous live streams as we're talking about barrel picks.
Yes.
We have not confirmed this, but we cannot deny it. We think.
Here it comes.
We like to keep you on pins and needles, but we think our high wire distilling pick comes out next week. Don't hold us to that.
The last information we had was second week of April.
Don't hold us to it.
That might be right now, but I suspect it's next week.
Well, it better not, because nobody knows about it.
Right.
Including us. But
that's going to go quick, though, because we did split that one. Our friend Rare Bird,
yes.
David Jennings, Rare Bird 101, who just he just launched his pick of Caleb's Crossing. He's got a new non-distilling producer thing going on, and good for him. Proud of him. I can't wait to try all the things that they've got going on over there. But that pick, I expect that's going to go pretty quickly. So you're going to want to be a Patreon if you want to get your hands on that high wire pick. And then beyond that, Still Austin coming very, very soon, a rye pick. And then after that, 2 surprises and the Trail's End. That's what we got coming next. A lot happening this year. This is a big year for the bourbon band. We're going all in.
Doesn't seem like it, but we are.
Yeah, you might not realize it. It's happening.
I just want to say in this first lane here, the single mash whiskey, I have to always look down at my notes because otherwise I would never remember. The nose on this reminds me of, it almost reminds me of an Oregon whiskey. It reminds me of
Branch Point.
Yes, thank you.
Yep.
It reminds me of Branch Point.
I thought the same thing, but I thought if I said it, you'd be like, what are you talking about?
No, as I just nose the as I nose the glass, I was like, that's so familiar. It's rare that I can come up with what it is.
It's their Triticale.
It's the Triticale. That's what it reminds me of.
Branch Point just had a fresh release of, I believe, their Bottled and Bond, which is my favorite variation of their Triticale whiskey. It's great.
Lovely. The nose on. So, no, I like it.
Lovely. Shut up. I'm talking.
I just got to nose all 4 glasses. My favorite nose is probably the least exciting of the palettes, which is that 107 proof rye. So
it's a striking nose.
Yeah. So it's I kind of skip around. So it's like boom, boom. Well, so it's hard because it's not what we're drinking, but it's like the last rye, the regular bourbon, the sweet mash, and then the least pleasing nose for me is that other rye. But that doesn't do anything with the palate. Yeah. It's just the nose. If I was doing our tallies,
I gotta say they're all they have a profile, of course, we keep saying that, but these are all very different. And again, for those of you that don't know, we are drinking MB Roland Whiskey from Kentucky. Our friend Kathy Huey very graciously sent us these samples, and we are appreciating the heck out of them. They're all great, but I would say the highest proof of the bunch, the single barrel rye, is the one that I thought I was going to really gravitate toward. But even on the nose, it wasn't my favorite. I know you just said you loved it.
That was my favorite nose, but the palate itself was a little nondescript.
You're a rye girl, and I get the iodine thing on this one. So that's, for me, it doesn't do as much. I would say that this single mash whiskey and the nose on that gets me excited to drink whiskey. It gets me excited to do anything. It just smells incredible. It makes me want to walk along through a farm and then wander into a rick house on the other end of the farm. That's where I go with that. That's a beautiful glass of whiskey. It reminds me of some of our favorites. It reminds me of a Whiskey Acres. It reminds me of a Frey Ranch, like you've been talking about.
I agree. Whiskey. I agree. The nose on number 1 is very striking.
Yeah,
but it's not familiar. I mean, it's wild.
It's
but
wild.
Like from a pleasing, everyday palate, you'd be like, "Whoa, that's a little crazy."
Most pleasing is probably this bourbon right here.
Yeah.
Do you agree with me or not?
That was my second. That was so. I really liked the nose on because there was a sweetness there, but that bourbon nose was my second favorite. And yes,
a bourbon like this could be an easy daily drinker for me. That's great whiskey. And at 99.4 proof, you wouldn't think that it drinks that nice, but it
Right.
really does. This is great.
I was gonna say Sugar Kitty. It is Bird of Vision. I'm trying to figure out what she sees, but
We've had seagulls like running back and forth on the roof.
seagulls, which are
I can't
probably the
imagine.
most annoying bird.
When we get home,
ever.
that solar panel is gonna be disgusting.
There's just outside of the rig, like terrible. But I can hear them like their little claws.
Yeah, running.
Or I don't know if birds have claws. They have like, I guess they have claws.
Feet. You
can hear them, and so she's like, she freaks out every morning, and I think that's what she's doing right now.
She might just be taunting the guy next door, like you ran into your camper.
But she's also being very quiet.
She's very quiet. Sweet girl. Oh, she is great. She's so fun to have on the road with us. Our whole lives changed, honestly, when we decided to start taking our cat on the road with us. Things got better.
Sorry, two things. The bourbon, has a nuttiness quality to it now. And almost, I always like to bring things in, but almost like a Jim Beam quality to it.
Yeah,
that brings into there.
Interesting. I'm gonna try it again and find it because I just took this 103.9 proof rye that coats so great. That's a great whiskey.
Yeah. The other thing I was gonna say is that road life so much easier without a cat.
It's way easier without a cat, but it's
way less fulfilling.
It's way less adorable.
Yeah.
Imagine just being stuck in a rig with me and not a cat. That sucks.
Or me.
You're adorable though.
I will say she's awesome.
She's awesome. Yeah, I completely agree.
She's a lot of work, but and I have a lot of stress related around leaving her in here. But I feel way like 10,000 times better leaving her in this vehicle that we have than the vehicle we had last year where we would leave, or the years prior, the 6 years prior, where we would leave Norman, because this has air conditioning, it has heat, it has a lot of windows that are very much more secure than the windows we had before. So I feel
in every respect she's in a better situation.
She's got a screen door. Like I feel a lot better.
It's a relief to have a third driver. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Let's let Toonsis drive.
Toonsis is my favorite.
Yeah. Beerbird says try road life with a 45-pound dog. Nope. Even with an 8-pound cat. It's a lot.
She's always underfoot too, and I'm always like, "Hey, we'll sleep your dad alone." She's like, we gotta pass this truck, and she's like underneath.
She's like, "How about I help by getting underneath the gas pedal?"
She's fun. And it's fun.
Richie Z says my best friend was a cat for 21 years many years ago. That's a good friend. 21 years is a long time for a cat. We've never had one go past 16 years. We've only had one.
We had obviously Norman, and I was like, I could have had him live to be like 35 years old, though he would have been like a really horrible crotchety old man. Like he was the epitome of an old man.
We've been watching some of our old videos though, just for fun. Just you drop in on things from every now and again, and it's so fun to see him just sitting on Julie's lap or my lap during our videos. We just love that.
I do feel bad because like I would always pet him. Like he just sits down on my lap, and I would like get to pet his belly, and there was just fluff everywhere. And Phil would always get really mad about it. And I was like, sorry. But now
there's nothing that breaks your heart more.
Yeah. Now you're looking back, and you're like,
Stacy and Rich, good night to you. Have a great night there on the East Coast. I hope your weather stays dry and lovely. Yeah.
Are we gonna put these in any sort of order?
Do you want to? I think I could.
I think they're also very different, that it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I just want to say Diego has a question for us. Cheers to you, Diego. Great to see you tonight. Me and my wife watch your channel, and she wants to know how y'all met.
Oh,
this is a story.
So we went to high school together. We didn't know each other in high school, though.
I had no idea who she was. We
had similar friends. So I don't know. I can't talk to Phil about whatever he did in high school. But but I had a certain group of friends that I had during like the actual like when we were in high school. But I played a lot of sports. So all my friends were sports related. But all those sports people lived like out in, like we called, like, it was probably the boonies, but it was like an hour away, which doesn't seem very far. So in the summertime, I had a second group of friends that were very local who didn't play sports, right? So they were just like normal people.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
Julie would hang out with these people.
Of friends, right?
She would hang out with this group of friends at reasonable hours, and I always worked afternoons to late nights.
Yeah.
Because I didn't play a lot of sports in high school.
Yeah, and so like summertime, like during the entire school year, I basically hung out with one group of friends, and then the summertime I hung up with a second group of friends. And during high school, it was fine. And so like I went away to college, and then I came back like 2 years in. I think it was 2 years in.
And this, by the way, that group of friends that she would hang out with in the summer, that was my group of friends, but I would always get there too late.
Yeah,
I would get there late at night.
Yeah. So he was in that group of friends, but I never knew him. And then
what's normal?
It was like summertime. I think it was summertime. It was, because in my head I remember Adam Sandler. What's the golfing movie?
Happy Gilmore?
Happy Gilmore. So it was like so whatever era that was, probably 99. Ish. 98. Probably 98 or something like that. I came home from college, hanging out with friends. Boone Farms was the rage.
Oh, Julie drank a lot of Strawberry Hill back in the day.
And we got invited to a party. And I went, and Phil comes in, and he's part of this.
This was just for quick reference. This was at a trailer park in Gary, Indiana.
You don't have to say it. Anyway,
I like to share that detail.
Yeah.
I think it's important.
You were a little bit of a rebel. You were in a band. You had like spiky hair because I was very like crazy. And he walked in, and I thought, oh, that guy's cute.
But once again, everybody else had been hanging out all day, and I was the guy who showed up super late.
Yeah. And I didn't know him too, because everyone at the party, like, I'm like, I went to high school with these people, who cares? And so he shows up, and I was like, wow, he looks really cute. And I approached you, and I basically said, like, I think you're cute.
You walked down and sat on my lap and stole the cigarette I was smoking. This was the 90s. It was fine. Everybody smokes. And
you were like, cool. I was like, cool.
I was like, that'll work.
And then I can't actually remember if I had a boyfriend at the time or not at that point. It doesn't matter. But then we became friends for 2 years. Like,
I was a slow mover.
Well, I think both of us were like, hey, we see a future in this, but we're certainly too young
we were not ready
to do anything with that future. Yeah. But we loved hanging out. And I ended up dropping out of that school to go to a different school that was more local. And so then we got to hang out. Mm-hmm. And we became really good friends. And it wasn't until like
you dropped out of
I didn't
school,
drop out of school. I graduated from college.
You left the school you were going
yes,
to.
Thank you.
After you had been sent home for drinking. Which is what that endeared me to you. This is a whiskey channel. Yeah. We can tell these things.
Anyway, so I came home and I was like, that stupid school. We don't care.
It was more than 25 years ago. No, There's no statute of limitations we have to worry about here.
Anyway, we became friends. It was great. We had a great time. Partied incessantly. It was awful. Don't tell my mom. And then it wasn't.
I already had these conversations.
Yeah, it wasn't until Phil decided that he wanted to like date this girl, and then I was like kind of pissed about it.
He didn't like that.
I was not happy about it. And then I was like, oh shoot, if I'm getting upset that he's like going out with girls, I should maybe say something about it. Like after 2 years, like maybe like we're over this like fun little thing. And then I got really mad at you. And then we just like went out, and then 5 years later we got married. We were very slow. Like Phil, I think probably would have got married earlier. And I was like, listen, I'm not into this whole marriage thing.
I would have wrecked it at that age when we met. It was a good thing we waited.
We were so young. I am like anti.
We got married at what, 26?
I was
you were 27.
I was 2 weeks away from being 27. Yeah. And I have coworkers today who were like 21, 22, and like a couple of them are like, I can't wait to get married. I'm like, no, look what I'm stuck with. I'm like, I am that person.
It wasn't really the friend zone though. No. It was like it was such a situation of like we were both doing our own thing. We were dating other people, but we loved hanging out. We would party a lot.
I just think that so much happens in your 20s. Like if it was like 1932, fine. You live in your community, you don't do anything. But like we live in such a global
Right,
community now.
you're in a global economic depression.
Yeah.
You know somebody good enough. Let's get started.
I guess 1932 was probably not a
bad
great
example.
example. 1920, whatever. 1910. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Oh, you love 1910.
1910.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about whiskey again, just like
Yeah.
that. All of a sudden.
Anyway, I keep telling my young coworkers, don't get wrapped up in all that nonsense. You've got plenty of years to get married and have children. Like,
yeah. So for all you youngsters that are watching the channel right now, take your time.
1%. Yeah.
Yeah, take your time. I hope that was worthwhile.
Anyway, it worked out for us.
Yeah, high five.
We'll see what happens next week. But as of today, April 7th.
I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm happy.
Yeah, Mavis is like, these people are kind of weird, but it works for me.
Yeah, she's like,
get
give me a sibling. I can't wait to move out.
Yeah. Partying
is what we still do, just on a lesser intense level. And that's absolutely right. If you're not having fun, what are you doing? What's the point of what we're doing? If you're not enjoying yourself, what are you doing? Don't wait until you're retired. You know, plenty of people that didn't make it to retirement.
Yeah.
Have some fun.
My best, like, I would say, like, one of my best coworkers, your best friend coworkers or whatever, she was like, oh yeah, so and so always asked me what I did this weekend. She's got a couple young kids, and she's like, I did the laundry, and then my kid did X, Y, and Z, and we went to the park, but we didn't play. We ate snacks in a different location. And then I drank 3 beers and got hungover. And I was like, except for the kid part, that's exactly what happens when you don't have kids.
Yeah, I love snacks.
I was like, because now I'm at an age where like 3 beers does cause a hangover. I was like, instead of just like keep on keeping on till 5 a.m. and then go to work the next day.
Man, we used to do some wild stuff.
Yeah.
33 and 26 and felt rushed about it. I felt we rushed it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. We definitely took our time. We took our sweet time, for sure.
I was uninterested.
We were
not in you, just in the whole
I never thought I was going to get married. I always said there's no way. And then it happened. But I would say, if anything ever happened, there's no way I would do it again. I can't imagine it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did this take a weird turn? How do you guys feel about it? Tom Shanley in the house. What's going on, Tom? Thank you for breaking us out of whatever this is that we're talking about.
Wait a second. What are we getting into right now?
Yeah. Tom just logged in and then logged in immediately off.
He's like, oh.
Tom Shanley, by the way, the most recent Patreon on the channel. Big welcome to Tom. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Did you hear the excitement?
Yeah, even Mavis is here.
She's doing a lap.
Right. She's going to shake the entire mechanism here.
Wait. Oh, coming back the other way.
Yeah.
I'm going to let it fly. She's confused because
she's fine.
We have the chair the other way.
Right. Yeah, we didn't turn that chair around. We're leaving the Bourbon Van Origins. Yeah, we should do a video on that. We're leaving this campsite tomorrow. I'm pretty bummed about it, but this is one that'll go on the list as a place that we will definitely come back to. I'd be surprised if we didn't. I love it here.
What I like about this place is that it's basically advertised as a stopover. They're like,
they say there's nothing here for you.
They're like, don't come. There's nothing here for you.
It's like a punk rock campground.
They're like,
there's nothing here for you. You come here and we're gonna make fun of you.
We barely have bathrooms. You're gonna hate it.
Yeah.
Like and we are like,
and these are some of the best showers we've experienced on the road.
And I was gonna say we are outside of Santa Cruz, and I can imagine. And I've never been to Santa Cruz, so I can't talk to Santa Cruz. But from
we're gonna
everyone
go in the morning and get some sweets though.
Yeah, but from people that I know who have been to Santa Cruz, it's like they want to move there. Like it's like really amazing. So I imagine that's where everyone goes. But we are always looking for peace and quiet. Oh, let's not show off your goods there. But we're always looking for peace and quiet instead of like all the things. And so this campground's been like for us personally, it's been like really relaxing, very slow paced. Again, the harbor seals.
The craziest thing that
2 a.m. I wake up.
Trailer.
Yeah, 2 a.m. I wake up and they're like,
the seals do wake
whatever
us
they
up
do
pretty frequently. But there's an otter who floats around in the bay here, who's the cutest thing in the whole world.
I'm waiting for
a big otter too, giant. I've never seen one that big.
And it looks like Mavis. They use their tails to like steer themselves back and forth. I wish he had a partner because
I'd love to see him holding hands.
If you if you follow otters on Instagram.
You guys follow otters?
Which I do, but probably nobody else does. There's always like the mated pair who are like holding fins, and they're just like, I love it. It's so sweet. The world would be a better place if we were like the otters.
I can't swim.
Anyway, big shout out because I know at the beginning of the, let's go see the hour.
This is the live stream.
I've been beginning of the hour and a half.
Yeah. Oh, look at us go.
People commented about my T-shirt.
Yeah. It's a good looking shirt.
The one and only
handsome shirt.
The one and only Rusty.
We love Rusty.
Sent that to me as I don't know if it was a gift to both of us.
I would say it was a gift.
But a gift means that I steal it.
What I love about this shirt is not only does it say easily distracted by cats, it's adorable, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
I'm also easily distracted?
You are, but it's completely covered in Mavis's hair.
Oh, really?
There is so much fur on that shirt. Your whole shoulder up here, it's a whole seam.
Well, I did flip her upside down about 4 times today. So, Yeah.
Well, the shirt proves the rule, I suspect. Really close to Marina, California. I dated someone from there for months. Are you and Julie making a stop in Carmel? Would you like us to go say hi for you?
What is their name? We will look them up and say.
We'll drop in and say, whatever happened to Richie? What are you doing? Come to your senses. Richie is
bring my Italian out. But hey,
And Russ says that shirt wasn't a gift. I want that back next year.
Deal. I'll bring it. It's very faded because because I don't care for my clothing. I just throw it in the washer and dryer, so everything gets very distressed.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Richie says, "Heck no." Are you sure? You know what? In this public chat, go ahead and put their name, their address, security number if you know it, social security number. We'll go there and we'll send them back to you.
We'll just screenshot your avatar.
Yeah.
Do you know this guy?
Do you know this man?
It's like
we're gonna have that printed
Unsolved
on the back
Mysteries.
Of the
In a world.
Yes. In a world, there's one man who's lost the only person he ever cared for in Carmel.
He didn't really like him.
Yeah. This person lives in Carmel, a place named after a sweet sauce.
Oh, I do like caramels.
I know you do.
Mm-hmm. Werther's.
I'll never get you my pin number, Tom. Yes. I love it when worlds collide. I got to be honest, the one that I saved for last, I think, is the one that I loved the most.
Holy smokes. So halfway through, I was like, I really aggressively drank all of these. Phil's got all the glasses left, but your glasses are empty, and I still have stuff in all my glasses because I've just been sitting here spinning glasses.
You were telling stories. You've been spinning stuff. Yeah. The only channel she watches now is SLB.
Is that what they do?
That's what Kurt does.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. I didn't know that until we started. We were doing that, and people were like, "You look like Kurt," and I was like, "I'll watch this channel."
I'll gladly look like Kurt.
And now we're good friends with Kurt.
This made me think of Austin Powers.
In a world.
Usually you're the ones with the
jokes.
Yeah, jokes.
The silliness. It's you tonight. You're doing it. Great job. It's this MB Roland. It brings out the best in you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darren likes it.
Yeah. All right.
Darren, I'm excited to get Darren another bottle of Trail's End 10, a single barrel, because I happen to know a story about somebody drinking most of his when he was out of town.
I do remember that.
We gotta help him out.
And
by the way, we are going to have a little bit of a meetup at some point.
To this day, I remember that story, and I remember meeting Darren, and leaving thinking how sad I felt about that, because that Trail's End pick, legitimately
one of the rarest whiskeys on earth and one of the best.
I am biased, so I'm not going to say that I'm not biased. And we haven't picked that many bottles, but that Trail's End 10 and the Bull Run pick that we picked, still my 2 favorites of all the things we've ever picked across the board. Even the ones that are coming out this year, nothing tops those 2 from like 2 years ago or whatever it was.
Trail's End and Bull Run.
There was just something really special about those 2.
Yeah. Beerbird, have a great night. Thank you for joining us. We're putting everybody to sleep tonight.
Well, because it's only
we're telling stories.
6:30 here, but it's like bedtime everywhere else.
That's true.
Yeah.
Shoot, it's almost bedtime here. No. Next stop is in a place on the coast outside of San Francisco.
No.
We're gonna be there for
south of San Francisco. We'll be there a couple days. Then we're gonna because we've been to San Francisco a couple times, so we're not going to go into the city really at all.
But we've never spent time on the coast, Marin County, the pretty places outside. We need to get over there.
And then we're going to hop. We're trying to get home. We're trying to get home a little bit quicker than we normally do.
This is you're watching Quantum Leap, except it's space instead of time.
And we could easily just cut inland. I don't want to because I like the coast. So.
Skydive Monterey. We actually drove past there.
Yeah.
9:30 in New York. It's almost bedtime for old fogies. Hey, look, that's when I wrap it up.
Tom,
if it was 9:30 here, I would have been in bed already.
Legitimately, when we're at home, I feel like the time is different. We go to bed quite a bit later.
Time moves slower at home.
Or faster, I'm not sure. But like in here, I do like yesterday I looked at my watch and I was like, 9:35? Should I already be like snuggled in?
Mm-hmm.
But we are because there's less distractions here, I think.
Yeah.
A lot more fresh air. Too.
I mean, it's like we always say, years go fast, days go slowly. But on the road, it all kind of moves pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So you got to take advantage when you see pretty things. Muir Woods, beautiful place. Absolutely. Yes. Anything with John Muir's name on it, we tend to stop at. We being on the road is a real like that's what we are passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not all that excited about going home. I'm worried that I'll get trapped in the house. And by the way, I've been dealing with a torn tendon in my heel since Alabama. Can't run, can't do really any activity. Even just stomping around. Like we've been walking, we've been on trails. You know, you get 10,000 steps in a day while you're walking around. Hard to heal from that sort of thing. And so I've been struggling with that. And one of the only reason I'm looking forward to getting home is so that I can actually put the boot on that I know is waiting for me there and elevate my foot and rest every day. But at the same time, I'm like, just going to sit on the couch with my foot elevated every day. And I'm not going to like that at all. But I also know it's what's best for me.
Yeah. I have a decision on the flight. If you'd like to know.
Let's have it. I'm ready.
I usually make notes. I'm just going to go by pure feeling on this one.
Very Julie.
Very Julie. My favorite of the bunch, not a surprise for those who watch the channel, is the MB Roland Rye. Sorry, I should look at this.
There you
go. I didn't realize that this is the Minnick pick.
That's a Fred Minnick pick?
I didn't even realize that. Shoot. Okay. I kind of feel like a jerk.
Here's why I feel like here's why I feel like a jerk as well. That's my favorite too.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
It's an unreal whiskey.
Single barrel rye. So this is a Fred Minnick pick. 103.9 proof.
Doggone it, Fred.
That was my favorite one.
I know he's watching tonight. He never misses an episode.
Yeah.
He doesn't know who we are.
No, exactly. It does kind of burn my britches or whatever it is. That it is, because
burn my britches.
I don't know.
Might not be a phrase, but it should be.
Yeah. I don't love that I picked that.
I didn't know that there was a Minnick pick in here. I didn't read these.
I also like to be contrarian, so I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah, doggone it.
Hey,
Jim Bandy's in the house. What's going on, Jim? Welcome.
Jim. So that was my favorite, the 103, and oh boy, come on.
Upside down cat.
All right. So that was my favorite. My second favorite.
You're so small.
We're gonna just do a little moment here.
I gotta tell her how small she is all the time. Otherwise, she might not know how small she is.
I know.
You're so small.
I know. Here we go. Slide like a slinky.
Yeah.
All right. My second favorite is the MB Roland single barrel 100.6 proof Munich malt, the single mash whiskey.
Can I try yours again?
Do I have anything left? Barely, but
yeah.
That's my second favorite. There's just something about the nose and the palate on that one that I think is like distinctly interesting.
It's very nice.
And it's not for everybody. People won't think it's like a traditional, beautiful flavor that you're going to love. But I think this one is a conversation piece. I think this is like, I'm hanging out with my friends. I feel like I like it, but I don't know if I like it. I want to know what you guys think. Like, I think this is like a really fun conversation. And so that's why I picked it number 2. And then my third favorite is the bourbon. And my fourth favorite is this rye that I think the nose is lovely, but I'm not super jazzed about the palate.
You and I are on the exact same page.
Really?
Except you went with glass number one, the single mash as your number 2. and the bourbon is number 3. I'm going as the bourbon as number 2.
Okay.
And the single mash is number 3.
Yeah.
That bourbon, there is something very, very special about that for my palate. The way it hits my palate, I love it.
Okay.
Great stuff though. Okay, so the rye 103.9 proof, the Fred Minnick pick wins out here. We didn't even know we had a Minnick pick in here, and now I'm kind of upset about it. I know you are too. You went with the single mash. I went with the bourbon
stuff, so I guess.
And then you went with the bourbon, and I went with the single mash. So
yeah.
our 2 and 3 were switched, and then last number 4 is the highest proof, which we might have thought would win out here tonight, but it didn't.
Yeah.
Interesting flight. I really enjoyed these whiskeys. Had a great time, and if and when we're in the neighborhood, definitely have to get back to MB Roland. We have to go check it out.
I will say
we'll bring a mop so we can help them dry out.
Yeah. Yeah. The phrase "all intents and purposes."
Yes.
Weird phrase, but for all intents and purposes, we did hope to spend the first 2 weeks of January in Kentucky
and Tennessee,
and it just didn't work out for us.
We didn't get the rig back,
so we basically jumped from Chicago to Charleston.
Yes,
and so we missed all of that. So I was a little bit sad because we did want to explore a couple of the major distilleries, but also other stuff, Starlight. Other stuff.
Yeah. We made it to Hard Truth. That was the kind of the one that we were able to get to,
which was fabulous.
It was awesome.
Anyway, so that will be on our list from now. But MB Roland, not on my radar. Yeah. Because I don't follow a lot of stuff like Phil does.
Well, he
keeps me top of mind.
Even so, MB Roland, if I hadn't looked it up tonight, I wouldn't known really much about them. Thank you, Kathy, for putting them on our radar. She's been the one. She's their proponent. You know, when they had their December 7th, I believe, is when it would repeal day, 6th or 7th. I forget what it is. Kathy was in the front row at their distillery when they snapped a photo that said, "We can drink whiskey again."
Yeah.
And she was wearing a Bourbon Band shirt.
I love it.
Huge deal for me.
And I
the most I've ever felt like we made it.
I know, and I feel, because we follow as much as we can, and because we're on the West Coast majority of the year.
Good night, Tim.
We try to speak to what's going on in the West, right? On the West Coast, and try to push it through. And the same people I'm sure in the East, in the Midwest, we
love talking about small distilleries.
Yeah,
in general.
and so we are really dependent on our Patreons for saying have you ever tried this? If not, try it. And Kathy's a really great in general, just an amazing person, and we love her. And she's really so great about sending us samples I really love this, or I'm interested to see what you think about it.
She sent us gin from Scotland.
Yeah, which
she was this is interesting. You guys need to try this.
And I do, and I love it.
I love it.
Anyway, so I'm always excited to try stuff that I haven't tried before or haven't explored before, because maybe we don't have that opportunity. So today was one of those days, and I just want to say a special shout out to Kathy, and I'm very appreciative that she sent this to us, even though it took us this long to review them.
Yeah, it's only been 7.5 months since he sent it, maybe 8. Mr. JJ Pickle got here late and loves us.
Oh,
that's a nice thing to say.
I also love the avatar. Anything with a pickle.
Anybody with a pickle.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much to all of you for joining us tonight. This was so much fun. We had a great time.
I did.
We don't want to hang in there too long because we know some of you have to get to bed, and we don't want to ruin your Tuesday for you.
And Rusty has not asked yet. Not that I know.
Here it comes.
But it's dinner. It's almost 7:00, and we got to make dinner.
Peanut butter and jelly.
I'm making tacos.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, because we have.
Seems like a lot of work.
That's
tonight.
The only thing we have left in the fridge, and I need to make. I need to make it. So that was the plan, at least, to make tacos today.
I'm not going to say no to it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it. There we go. Okay, I've got just enough whiskey left.
He's like, Rusty, what's for dinner?
Tacos or pizza?
we had pizza last night.
We ordered pizza to the campground last night, and people were like, you can do that? I think we blew some minds.
We're not great. I feel like we're young enough where we're I don't want to do all this cooking stuff. And so, yes.
That applies to every age group.
Last night we were doing some other stuff, and Phyllis made some offhanded comment about pizza. And I was like, if you can find a pizza place that delivers here, we're ordering it. And he did. And
I just speak Spanish to get it.
No, we didn't. But like they delivered, like they came, like they drove up, and the like people in the front were like, "What are you doing here? Or who are you delivering for?" And we like popped out. We're like, "It's us!"
Yeah, who
And
does pizza work for?
yeah, and like the people walking their dogs were like, "Are you having a party?" We're like, "A pizza party." Not invited. But I was like, I feel like we're like, people are like, "Oh man, I didn't realize you could."
Yeah, I didn't realize you could do that.
You could deliver pizza here, and we're like, that's all we do.
I think we inspired the other folks.
I have not seen DoorDash since, so we probably didn't inspire anybody. They're like, I'm gonna save that $5.
Their loss. I had good pizza. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we had a great time tonight. Thank you again to Kathy. Thank you to all of you for joining us.
Yeah.
Our live streams would be nothing if it wasn't for all of you watching and commenting and joining along, and you're the best.
Teresa said she made enchiladas. I can make enchiladas with what we have.
You're not making enchiladas tonight.
No, it's probably gonna be
I would love if you did, but I'll be asleep. You'll have to wake me up to let me know when they're ready.
All right. Tacos are never Tacos are never the wrong answer. Thank you, Eric.
No.
And I agree.
Absolutely.
So
sorry, I'm reading the comments. All right, I'm catching up, but it's time to go. Thank you, Mavis, for being here. Mwah. We love you so much from wherever we are.
To wherever you are.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers. Thanks for coming out tonight. We'll keep you posted on our single barrels, by the way.
We will do that. Somebody drank all my whiskey.